To achieve anything in life, you need to accept the hard truth: you can't sit in all the chairs at once. The four-burner theory clearly demonstrates this. One way to represent the delicate balance between work and personal life is called the four-burner theory. This concept is very simple and clear. Imagine that your life is a stove with four burners. Each of them is one of the most important aspects of your life. The first burner, family life; the second burner, relationships with friends; the third burner, health; the fourth burner, career. The condition is very simple: to take place in life, you need to turn off one of these burners. To become truly successful, you need to turn off two at once. 3 points of view on the concept of four burners. The first reaction to the four-burner theory is very predictable: we will try to circumvent this condition. Is it possible to become successful without turning off the burners? For example, can I combine two burners into one? Family and friends are something very close, so let it become one category. Can you manage your health and work at the same time? I know that a sedentary lifestyle is dangerous for your health. And I sit at work all day long. I'll buy a special table to work standing up. You think? To believe that you will save your own health if you start working standing up is stupid. It's like pretending to be a great anarchist, just crossing the road at a red light and not wearing your seatbelt in the car. Sooner or later, we will begin to realize that by building all these complex schemes and trying to circumvent the four-burner theory, we are actually afraid to face the truth. And it is that life is the art of making deals. If you want to be successful at work and be a good spouse, your friends will soon leave you and your health will not last long either. If you want to be healthy and successful as a parent, you will have to put professional ambitions aside. Of course, you can make a career, but you will never be able to give your best at work if there is a child waiting at home for whom you want to become the best. You can try to sit on all the chairs at once. Then you will not be truly successful in any of the areas. You have to choose. Do you want to live an unbalanced life, but take place in one of the spheres? Or do you feel the balance between all aspects every day, but never become successful in any of them? So how can that be the theory of the four burners? Is there a way to solve the problem of balance between personal life and work? Outsource the burner. We often delegate small tasks to another person in order to simplify our lives. We buy fast food so that we don't have to cook dinner at home. We send things to the laundry, just not to arrange a laundry day. We invite a specialist not to repair the equipment yourself. Outsourcing small tasks is a normal practice. It allows you to save a little time and spend it on more important or pleasant things. Is it possible to apply this system to one of the burners and free up time to focus on the other three? The best example is work. For many, it is the quarry that acts as the hottest burner on the stove. This is what people spend the most time on, and the burner that they agree to turn off last. In theory, entrepreneurs can outsource this burner. To do this, you need to hire employees. Another example is the family. Parents who work are forced to outsource the family's hot plate. They hire a nanny, give the baby to grandparents, or take him to kindergarten. It seems a little unfair and dishonest, but the fact remains that parents often pay someone to keep the family's hot plate on while they themselves spend time on something else. However, outsourcing has a huge drawback. You can actually leave the hot plate on and direct your activity to something else. However, when you exclude yourself from the equation, you lose touch with something very important. Many entrepreneurs, retiring from business, become bored and feel unnecessary. The vast majority of parents would like to spend another couple of hours with their child, instead of sending him to kindergarten. Outsourcing is a way to leave another hot plate on. But will there be any point in gorge? Use restrictions to your advantage. You can't help but notice how the four-burner theory sheds light on your hidden potential and talents. But it clearly demonstrates your limitations. If I had a little more time, I would earn a little more money or spend more time with my family, you might think. Look at this bitter truth from the other side. Instead of complaining that you can't fulfill your potential and you could, use these limitations to your advantage. For example, focus on making the most of the time you have. Let's say, like this. If you can only work from 9 to 17, how can you make the most money during this time? If you can only write for 15 minutes a day, how can you finish a novel as quickly as possible? If you can only exercise 3 hours a week, how do you get in the best shape? These questions help you focus on the positive aspects and get the most out of what you already have. If you learn to use limitations to your advantage, you can increase productivity and efficiency in any of the areas. Seasonality of life. The third way to deal with the four-burner theory is to divide your life into seasons. What if instead of constantly trying to control four burners at once, you try to focus on each of them in turn? After all, not always communication with friends is more important than family. This depends on the age of the person, their worldview, self-perception. It is logical to divide your life into seasons and focus on the burners in turn. At 20 years old, it is easy to play sports and start building a career. In a few years, you may want to start a family. And even later, you will feel the need for a strong friendly shoulder and want to spend more time with your old friends. You don't need to give up and put your dreams on hold. But maybe you should think about how to prioritize. Life occasionally allows us to keep all the burners on at once. What season of life are you currently experiencing?